I had purchased this Talavera fountain at a local pottery store near my house. I love Talavera and I've seen these online and I wanted one, so I purchased one, and I had ordered a solar water fountain spout from Amazon, but unfortunately it was not giving me the effect that I wanted. And also I have a nephew, and every time he comes over, he plays in it and would spill the water everywhere. So I decided that water's probably not the best use for it. So today I'm actually going to turn it into a succulent fountain. These are some of the options that I've selected that I'm going to incorporate into the fountain. And I'm going to start off first by drilling a hole in it with a bit I bought at Home Depot that's supposed to work with like ceramics and tiles. And I'm going to start by drilling a hole in the center. Cool. So you can see there's a hole there. I think I'm going to poke in another hole as well. And I'll do one more. So now I have 3 holes, and this is going to help drain the water for my succulents, because as most of you know, succulents need to be well drained. You need well draining soil. So I'm using a cactus mix, and I mix some perlite into it. So I'm gonna throw some in here. It reminds me of being a kid. I used to love playing with mud with my sisters. We'd always make mud pies. We loved playing with worms, so it just kind of reminds me of that. I think that should be good enough. Can add a little bit more if I need to later. So I haven't really laid out what I want to do, but I have an idea. I want to use the taller succulents in the center and then put the ones that don't grow as tall at the edges of the fountain. And then I also have some succulents that are going to look like they're cascading down the fountain. For example, the little burrow's tail, that one's going to grow and cascade downward. And then this one's really pretty. It's the ruby necklace. It'll be draped down also, and it's going to be very pretty. So I think I'm going to start this guy. I'm going to clean out some of the existing soil that's on it. And put it in the cactus soil. And the great thing about succulents is that they're not very sensitive, so you don't have to be that delicate with them. This is a little jade. Pretty because it looks like a tree. Let's put that there. Little panda paw. This one's split into two. That looks nice. So we'll put one on each side. I like how that looks already. So now how about we use this topsy-turvy echeveria. It's pretty large, so I'm thinking of putting it there. And then if you don't like how something looks, you can easily place it somewhere else. And I'm making a mess over here. My intention was to let it fall into the bag, but that's not happening. But it's okay. It's just soil. Now, I do have to be careful because I know that my nephew is going to want to touch all of the succulents, so I'm in the process of teaching him that he can look at them and he can touch sometimes, but he's just not allowed to pull and break flowers and all the succulents. So I think it looks really pretty there. Now let's add this one to add some contrast there. Now I'm going to put the burro's tail. I have one of these in my other water fountain, and it grew really nicely. And then I also have the ruby necklace, and it looks really pretty as well. It's amazing how much they grow within a couple of months. Okay, I think I'm going to add a little bit more soil in that area. This one is not that large, so I'll add some soil. And then so it's still short, but in a few months, that thing is going to be really big. It's going to get really large. Cool. So now let's see. I have this crested echeveria here. I think that'll look pretty here. And I probably will need more succulents because I didn't realize how large this fountain was. I think that looks really pretty. Now, how about this one here? Here or here? I think here. So I'm going to be rotating this a little bit so we can start working on this side. Now this one has a little bit of sun damage. That's okay, it's still beautiful. Succulents are always changing in color, depending on your climate. Now I'm going to add the ruby necklace. I think I want to put it here on the opposite side of the burro's tail. If you wanted to, you can literally put hanging succulents all around, but I wanted to add some echeverias as well. Oh, this little guy broke off, but we're still going to plant it. This guy, we can't leave this little straggler behind. Trust me, it will grow. It might look like you can just dispose of it because it's small, but it's rooted, and that's all that matters. So because of my love for succulents and cacti, I decided a while back to get my wholesale license and start selling succulents to people locally. This is just a small collection that I have so far, and I'm going to take from this collection to add to my fountain. So here's my second batch of succulents for my collection. So I'm just going to start adding them in. Let's rotate and put this green one here. That'll look nice. Fill up that large gap there. And what I learned is that a lot of succulents like being near each other. It's almost like they help each other grow. Put you there. So this one's split up into two. Still try to keep them together. Nice. I will add a little bit more soil to certain areas. Hey, Hey, the butterflies seem to like my fountain. Where do I put you, little guy? Nestle you in there. There's a couple more spaces that I want to fill on this side, so I might have to make one more trip. That's good. So here is my complete and beautiful succulent fountain. I'm really happy with the way it came out. I am debating on adding some top dressing to it, so I might do some lava rock or other type of rock that I have, or maybe even fiberglass. Not sure yet, but if you want to see what I decide, you can go on to @SundreamSucculents on Instagram and see the final version of the succulent fountain.